saved about $2,200, and then they came back with another $4,800-ish. So,
Are we good?
I don't know. Hang on just a second. Deb, do you know that when we started this Re-King project, what fund we were paying for that out of? Any way to,
I can tell you where it was, where
it was?
where it was supposed to be, but then it got pulled out because it was supposed to come out of mine. They wanted, the commissioners at the time wanted it pulled out of mine. But that was, when we restarted this again, it was not coming out of mine because it wasn't proper. It didn't necessarily follow the
obligations of the bond.
yeah, thank you.
but I think we might have paid some on it before. I just don't remember
I
where
don't
they.
remember
We
offhand.
shouldn't have paid anybody.
Any?
Well,
Yeah.
we paid, I think we paid out of my 911 bond for the original study.
I didn't know if there was like an initial amount.
There was, and it was, I don't recall the amount, but I believe that initial amount was paid for out of the 2022A, the 911 bond, which I'll have to find it.
See, I'd have to know who the vendor is.
Want to table this until?
I can, if you give me over my time, but you know.
It's all right. Your time's ticking. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Who the vendor was, John?
I'm getting into my email right now to look at that because I have a lengthy.
I'll have to pull the claim. It's nothing I'm gonna give.
So,
It was not. They had, they did not do, that's not who we paid. We paid somebody else to do the initial study. That was, I think it was Asa Abloy, however you pronounce it, ASSA-ABLOY. That was who gave us the initial.
How are you spelling that again, John?
It's ASSA space ABLOY, but there's also a secondary. It's Openings Studio.
a bond to be determined.
Bernie's
I don't think so.
budget?
I thought it all came out of mine initially.
Can we pay these just with a fund to be determined later?
Yeah, we can do.
Okay. I just don't want to hold everybody
Yeah,
up here. And,
Yep, agreed.
We want it paid out of the right one, we just don't.
Right, yeah.
So the
yeah.
first one is this 4850 Wesco quote.
I move that we accept the Wesco Annexer bid to correct our keying problems that we had. Quote number Q00DWHN5, the amount not to exceed $4,850.18 paid out of the fund to be determined in short order.
Second?
It's been properly moved and seconded that we accept the quote from Wesco for our Re-King project. The quote numbers Q00DWHN5 in an amount not to exceed $4,850.18 to be paid out of a fund to be determined at a later date. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
And like I said, I don't know if the other, how you want to do the other two, since you already approved them in a meeting, but then they came back and said, okay, we're, as we negotiated this, so we had already signed documents for them. They did ask that these be signed again so we can send them to them for official.
But we save money.
We save money. Well, yeah, in the long run, they still get us in the end because of
Yeah.
the additional stuff.
So
but-
they were approved and funded, they just need a re-signature, is that it?
Correct, that was, yeah, and I don't recall, that was where you made a decision on which bond to pay it out of a couple meetings ago. And so that's, again, we'll figure out where this was paid out of before and
So Scott, would we need a motion? Just,
Well, it seems like it might still be a little bit in the air. Might be helpful to clarify.
That be this,
Yeah, there should be two documents there.
There's
One of
two
them
here.
should be the labor and one of them should be the,
One's
the
43
hardware.
and one's 23.
Yeah,
So actually, it's just coming back because there's less money.
correct, yes,
Has it been, did we have to amend any documents or do we have those in front of us?
I mean, well, yes, they are amended documents to reflect the lower costs.
We could do a motion.
let's go ahead and do the motion. That way we cover ourselves.
one of these is for 43,000.
Yep.
That's the hardware.
And the other one for 23,000.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's for labor.
That's the labor. Yep.
I'll make a motion that we approve these quotes. Quote number Q00DTL9F and Q00DMY61. One for hardware and one for labor. And that's for which building?
That will be for the 911 center, the annex building, the courthouse, memorial building, and yeah, those four.
Okay.
Gary, could you add reflecting an amendment from the previous?
This was approved, voted on and approved at a previous meeting, but they come back with a lower cost, and we're just really amending this. So one is for 23,000 even, and then the other one, let me get back to where it was here. The other one was $43,050.87 as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the two quotes from Wesco. The first quote is numbered Q00DTL9F. It's for labor for the Reking project, an amount not to exceed $23,000. And the second quote, the quote number is Q00DMY61. It's a quote for hardware in an amount not to exceed $43,050.87. And additional to this, this was voted on and approved at an earlier commissioners meeting. These quotes are amended to show lower cost to the county. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Now that all that is passed, now I would like your permission from the board to send the department heads and office holders within the buildings mentioned, I mean, other than, obviously, I know myself, a homework assignment. And that is to begin the process of determining who needs keys to what, because that is the next part of this process. And that is a massive undertaking that will take a little bit of time to get all of that done. And then once we get all that, once we would get those homework assignments back, we would, if there were any office holders, basically, we didn't see eye to eye on those things, we would have a meeting. We would schedule meetings on a single day that we would request one of the commissioners to be present for that meeting to just help us work through any differences that we may have. But
What deadline do we need? 30 days, enough time to get this done?
we
or
don't
2
need a
weeks?
deadline, but I would love it if you would assign me one so we can just get it
I think
done.
we will need one,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
We'll need one. You want people to respond in a timely
Oh, you're
fashion.
talking about the homework assignment. Yeah, I would, if we can get it done in
2 weeks.
2 weeks, that would be fantastic, because I'll get it out probably by tomorrow to
By
everybody.
May 1st.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that works. And do the three of you want to be included on that homework assignment? Not to do any homework, but just so you see what goes out? Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
Yeah.
do that. So, we're almost there. I feel like a prison sentence on that.
Well,
Bet it has.
hopefully it's a prisoner getting out.
And Meyer Nasium was fantastic to work with to make sure on the IT offices in the basement that we have the proper key sets, and we're working with Envoy on getting that rectified at 123 and 233 East Main.
Great.
So,
Great.
so, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not too bad.
All right.
That's everything off our main agenda. What do we got here in our,
Action items,
We already did the bid,
auditor's business.
Bids that are.
we got the bids,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
it's back here. Auditor's business.
Yes, I have a few things. So we have, on the Amplified bond, there was a invoice that was not paid at the issuance of the bond, so we need to, that was for the S&P rating. So we need to go ahead and have you sign to instruct Huntington to pay this. We'll go ahead and. Let me put that along with that, we also have another disbursement for, it's a disbursement number 4, sorry, for invoices for the Amplify project to be paid out of the Amplify bond. We had all of our money regulated by the end of 2025, but we did have one that we needed to extend for $6. Council has agreed to do that, just need for you to sign this extension for behavior health, so that we can extend that agreement and we can utilize that $6.
okay, so the first one, I'll make a motion that we, the commissioners sign affidavit for bond issuance expense account. The request is for the payment of invoice number 11490918.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the signing of an affidavit for bond issuance expense account between Huntington Bank and Hancock County. The request is for the payment of invoice number 11490918. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Go ahead and sign there on the, as well. It's at 3. How about that?
All righty. This is an affidavit for construction and fund disbursement. Huntington Bank. Request is for payment in the amount of $15,678.80 for the Hancock County Redevelopment Authority Property Tax Lease Rental Bonds Series 2025 for payment.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we sign the affidavit for construction fund disbursement from Huntington National Bank for the Hancock County Redevelopment Authority Redevelopment District Ad valorem Property Tax Lease Rental Bonds Series 2025 in an amount, the amount of $15,678.80. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Sure.
ARPA letter.
This is the amendment to the ARPA agreement letter on April 15th, 2025. The contract entitled ARPA Agreement Letter between the following parties, Hancock County Government and the Hancock County Behavioral Health Court. The awarded expenditure deadline would be amended to read as follows, which would be November 30th, 2020.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve the amendment to the ARPA letter, or the ARPA agreement letter between Hancock County Government, Hancock County Behavioral Health Court. Changing the award expenditure deadline in the original contract to be amended to November 30th of 2025. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
And regard to the, $41, it is stating that 5%. You can go ahead and make a motion to pay that. We are waiting, I think, for somebody to tell us if that work has actually been done before we make that payment.
That's where I think I would stand. I don't know if we do sign it just yet, but we want a kind of a walkthrough, maybe with Corey.
Going up after this meeting to talk to him.
Okay.
Is this percent course clean? All that's left on that contract. The bathrooms was a separate thing. The bathrooms are about 50%. At this point, you are good to pay.
We are okay to pay the 75%?
The bathrooms came on afterwards.
I was going right out there as soon as.
Oh, that's okay. I just brought that down
Okay.
because I wanted to pay it as soon as we could.
Make a motion that we pay for partial completing? Is that what we're doing? Is it just total? Is it totally?
75.
75%, that's what I thought,
That
okay.
First project.
First project is 75% complete on the total project, but payment is due, and that is to be no more than $225,213.41.
To be paid out of the 2022.
To be paid for out of the 2022 BGO bond, as presented.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that we pay out the request to Meyer and Agem Construction for our project in the basement of the annex, 75% completion, and an amount not to exceed $225,213.41 as presented out of the 2022 BGO bond. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Is there a signature page or anything for us?
No, I just need to make sure it's reflected in the minutes so we know we're,
Okay.
thank you. You'll sign the claim when it comes back through. And then I just have, you have already approved a building gas card for Scott. And you've already made your appointment for the health board. So I just need signatures.
Oh.
Oh, very good. I don't have anything else.
That was enough.
It was a lot.
Do we sign on this Keystone credit, the three, where that says the three applicant signatures are, or is it just?
There's two with the one. There's,
Bill needs to
okay,
sign it.
that's good.
Wow.
So,
it's no
but
big
we've
deal.
already approved this in a prior meeting. I remember us talking about it.
Sign on the bottom of that one.
Oh, I have something with this. I lied.
Your time's up, but the clock says so.
I didn't intentionally lie, but I do have one other thing. Kelly had ordered Kelly and Cindy had ordered the bloodborne pathogen kits because the ones that have originally come in were all divvied out, but then the sheriff's department, I think, and maybe another department, Kelly, that wanted them in their vehicles.
Yes, there's a few that didn't, and there's a few departments that didn't receive.
Okay,
Yes.
so what we did was we went ahead and we put an order in with a few extras for replacement if need be. That came to $3,337.62. Last year, the health department was not, or the first go around, the health department was good enough to get that out of their budget. We do have this money that we can pay out of your indirect cost budget line. It's in your budget. And I think that we'll get that put in somewhere for your 2026 budget. But right now, we just need your approval to pay it out of your indirect cost line.
What do you need, a motion for us to say?
Motion to.
Approve it out of our,
We don't think I'm spending your money.
all right, well, go ahead.
I make a motion that we approve the amount of,
I'm sorry.
Here you go.
yeah,
Here you go.
I'm just looking at it.
It's difficult.
Oh, we had a piece of that. I make a motion, we approve the pricing request for bloodborne pathogen kits, 19 pieces at a unit price of $21.50 each, in the amount of $3,225, and that total equates to $3,337.62. To be
Second.
paid out of 1001-31504.1 or 000.0068, because I forgot the name of it, so there it is.
Indirect cost. Can't read my writing, can you?
Second.
Yeah, you didn't really need to sign it.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the pricing request from Uline for bloodborne pathogen kit in an amount not to exceed $3,337.62 to be paid for out of the indirect cost line as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passed.
I wrote it and I thought it was indiscreet at first. I can't read my writing.
Okay.
Okay, before we go on, let's finish up our action item besides bids. The sheriff's, command cloud subscription. Had to get it out, that he has told us about. And it's just what I said. I motion to approve the Command Cloud subscription agreement with Guardian RFID. And I'm trying to find it, is there a dollar amount or something here?
This is just a contract, so I'm not sure.
It's contractor, it's different. Let me see if I got a total pay. I don't have a total page.
$17,597.
17,000 what?
$597.
$507.
500 and, it's $17,597.
Okay. In the amount of $17,597, is this to be paid out of his budget or is?
I would say it is. I
I would
don't-
think
Do we have any direction?
to be paid out of the sheriff's
Just Don't
budget.
have anybody from the sheriff's department here. So we can put out of a fund to be determined.
With fund to be determined.
Yeah, and make sure theirs and not yours.
Yeah. Second.
Second.
Sorry.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the contract between Guardian RFID and the sheriff for a subscription renewal agreement. in an amount not to exceed $17,597 to be paid for out of a fund to be determined. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
I would think so. Since he's been using it before, so.
Gotcha.
The last thing we've got here is the sheriff support building's owner's rep, but this is an action item through Zerbuck. Let me see, which one is it? This is for we already approved them as owner's rep, didn't we?
Yes, we did. I don't,
Oh.
I'm not sure if we signed their contract.
Okay.
Scott looked through it and he said it was okay and.
We're good?
Yep.
We're just signing this one, eh? Or do we?
Yeah, we have to.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the proposal from MZ Corporation DBA Zerbuck Development Construction Consulting. This is the owner's rep for the sheriff's new evidence building. And it's been approved before, but I make a motion that we go ahead and sign the agreement.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we accept the owner's representation contract from MZ Corp. doing business as Zerbuck Development. The owner's rep for our sheriff's support building as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
You know,
I don't think it was 5 million. I think it was it's a $2 million. Yes, there was a yes, we're a $2 million, $2 million policy.
Yeah. I think the only thing we got left is bid opening.
We got one other
Okay.
quick thing that I mentioned to the auditor about a park board appointment.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
And have-
Shively is gonna be replacing Holly Kinker.
Were all of you able to talk to Ms.
Yes, I
Shively?
was.
I met her early on,
Wait,
so
Real nice lady.
I make a motion that we approve Jenny's, how do you spell?
Shively.
Shively, to our Parks Board as replacement for Holly Kinker.
Second.
So it's been moved and seconded that we accept, or we appoint Jenny Shively to the Hancock County Parks Board as a replacement for Holly Kinker. I'm not sure exactly what her term limit is, and we can add that probably at a later time. It's either a 1 year or 4 year, I just don't know.
I think hers was a 4-year, but don't quote me on that.
And
Yeah, we
The,
might be able to find it real quick.
he also wanted to know meeting dates and stuff like that.
Sarah, if you can,
We'll copy him on the terms and have her also reach out to Jenny. I don't know that I have Jenny's,
mhm.
but Miriam will have it, so if you're okay with that, we'll send that on. Copy you so you know.
Okay.
If you would,
Sarah's looking it up right now, I think.
if you would also request that she call Miss Shively and tell her when the meeting dates were or are. She don't know any of that, so. I talked to her Saturday, I think it was, so. Okay. Don't we?
Yep, you just go ahead and we'll start on our
Okay.
bid.
Okay, I am opening bids from,
Okay, so I've just been alerted that Holly was.
Okay, then it would have been Kayla. It would have been Kayla, Brooks's spot because she stepped down.
Kayla and Miriam were appointed by commissioners, but now Miriam said that Jenny would be replacing Holly. She told me earlier today, because I texted.
Well, then that's a council vote, not a commissioner's
Yeah.
vote, but who are we, I thought we were replacing, Kayla with this.
I don't know, I asked Miriam, I said, who is Jenny replacing?
Just asked her that?
Yeah, I texted her when she was here after you came over and talked to me.
Okay.
I thought we did, on my notes,
Clarendon.
Clarendon.
it's McLaren. Okay.
Clarendon.
it's all wrong. On 2025 into Holly's.
So this would be for Kayla's, okay?
Okay.
Sorry,
That was incorrect.
yeah,
Okay.
I just asked and that's all I got.
So what's Kayla's term, do we know?
Term is just 1 year.
1 year, okay. For a term not to exceed, not go beyond December 31st of 2020, the remainder of this year, probably 2025.
Sorry about that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we appoint Jenny Shively to the Hancock County Parks Board with a term not to exceed, to go beyond December 31 of 2025. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Now we're just left with bids.
Okay, I'm opening bids for the masonry repairs, cleaning, installation, upgrades, and tunnel waterproofing repairs at the Hancock County Courthouse. And this one is from Buckeye Construction and Restoration. And the bid is $1,422,402 there. And this one is from, is it Etica or? It says Etica there, but it says Midwest Maintenance. Would that be? Yes. Okay. From Midwest Maintenance Incorporated, and it is for $1,495,000. Even. So,
We'll accept those
we'll
and make
accept
a.
those and make a choice on them
Make a
later.
choice later on. Yes.
So,
So those are our masonry bids.
Yep.
Okay.
okay, and now we're going for infrastructure project, Hancock County Infrastructure Project. And that would be the sheriff's building, isn't it?
No, that would be the RFP we put out for the build, operate,
Oh,
transfer
okay.
project for infrastructure. And
Okay, here's,
we can adopt all those in,
Let's-
not necessarily needing a price, but just by the
Let-
company who's provided that. And
I'll make a motion that we accept these contract bids for Hancock County Infrastructure Project. One is from F.A. Wilhelm Construction,
I've got him.
and the other is from Surge Development. And here is the little zip deal that goes with that.
so
And
those were the two
Two
we
of them.
actually received in.
Who was the first one?
Were those the one in
mentioned?
the box?
These were,
Okay.
so, that we accept these bids as presented.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we accept the bids presented to us for our infrastructure build, operate, transfer project as presented. And we will take some time to look at those and get back to the people who submitted at a later date. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Okay, they got, how many copies did we need?
I think each one is enough for, there's one.
All
one
three of us and
for
then
all of
one
us.
for the,
Probably for Gary.
okay, well then, take that, I got that. So that's that one, and I'll leave the zip deal with that. You take his?
Yep. Hard copies.
There's that, okay.
You guys lose yours, we'll have it.
Well, I thought they were supposed to, is there supposed to be one with this one too?
It probably is.
Inside one of the binders,
We'll find out.
and sometimes
here.
Back to school. You've got
Back
your
to school.
binder.
All right, and auditor, there you go. Oh, here, you want that with it? Oh, here's another
Do you
one.
have a copy for yourself?
Yes, I do.
Does everybody have a copy?
Everybody's got a copy.
Okay, thank you.
And the folder's empty. What else have we got?
We are looking into where to advertise these RFQs. Ask Sarah to go ahead and call a lot of our contractors to see where they go to look. So if they're going to look somewhere and they let us know where it's at, then maybe we can just start advertising there.
Well, I know Meyer Najum gave us some information at one of their bid.
I asked them that and I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I reached out to almost everybody that we've dealt with.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Other ones that I.
See what the rates are.
Okay, any public comment? Well, hang on a second, George. There's Miss Letterman's behind you. We can,
Ladies first.
she raised her hand.
Your hand, George.
She raised her hand.
The back to school comment. I have just 1 minute, that's all, 30 seconds, Micro Machine Man. It's about the videos, the recordings on the website, and I know I've worked with the auditor's office. I know you guys are working with Bernie Harris, but currently there have been none posted in 2025, and there is a precedent for this. Back in 2023, there was once where it was 6 months behind. So this is kind of an ongoing issue. I know right now you guys are doing fancy things with equipment, but I couldn't tell you because I can't watch the videos to tell you what it is.
Okay. So
And the minutes are kind of hard to untangle with like discussion was had. And I know that that's 15 minutes worth. I just hope that this can maybe be expedited or really be a priority, especially when we got this Amplify Hancock thing. We have this mystery mega site thing going on. This information is really timely, and it's hard to keep people informed and involved. So that's all. Just worried about the videos.
We know what the holdup is.
I
We'll
didn't
look
even-
into that.
I didn't even know
Appreciate it.
people weren't
Get an
able-
answer.
I knew there was a point in time, Miss Letterman, that those were not being just shown live streaming, but I did not know.
I don't
they
know that
weren't
they've
like-
ever been live streamed. I guess I don't even know. But
Well, we came up with a policy because the concern was with live streaming, like when we announce a meeting in the morning, we want everybody to know, hey, you're live, you're on camera, your name, image, likeness type thing can be, potentially used while it's out there. And just fear too, that while it was out there, is that the right platform we want it to be on so nobody could manipulate it and do
right,
things?
right. No, I caught all that. Just whatever decision's being made, we're 4 months behind, and there's big stuff coming down the
Nothing
pike.
involving us, but we'll definitely look into it and see where those things are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
George. Okay, I got my timer.
There you go.
Well, being that this is the only forum I get to say something about this, I'm going to do it because I'm going to be gone in the next meeting. SB 1. It's a poorly written bill. It's not a bill that reduces property taxes because it's eliminating our 1% residential tax. It's moving us up to 2%. And then the $300 they're talking about, I can't remember the exact cost of the house. I think it's a little over $300,000. If you don't have that kind of a house, you don't get the $300 deduction. You get 10% off. So it's not a great bill. It's an increase instead of a decrease. And that's not what we sent our representatives up there to do. They failed all the residents of Indiana with putting out this disaster of a bill. And I hope everybody calls the governor today and tells him not to sign this bill. This is a worthless property tax bill, in my opinion. I have a saying from the Air Force, but I'm not gonna do it. I'll tell you after the meeting,
Appreciate that.
okay? All right.
I was thinking that the governor was one that wanted this bill to begin with, wasn't he?
Well, in a different shape,
Yeah,
yeah,
worse than what this one is.
Started out with relief for older people
yeah,
and then it went away.
yeah,
I mean, it's like people that are on fixed income,
yeah.
quite a few. Kind of watered down.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. We adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay.
Yeah, I contacted
We're still recording, by the way.
his representatives.
I'm still recording, mommy.
Would he come up with that? And the guy said he was gonna send me a copy of the bill, he never did.
I'll show you a
I've
picture of it.
got all kinds of copies
Took a
of the bill,
picture of
George.
it
I'll send
last
it to you.
Actually, they were still amending that thing yesterday, weren't they?
Was the final vote
They were?
Thursday?
Okay. What's that?
They were, well, they concurred on it. They
Oh.
didn't have any more